By the way, Max is here.
Yay!
Speaking of
Give a damn. You should bench him. Wish he didn't play today.
All right, so this was a game that not a lot of people probably cared about. However, Larry Nance Jr. delivered that on one Brook Lopez, and people lost their minds. On the court, in the stands, in your couch, everywhere. Larry Nance, his face is fantastic. Social media went crazy. By the way, immediately, Damian Lillard called it the dunk of the year.
Okay, Dollar.
The always funny Shea Serrano tweeted.
And he touched the rim, Max. He hit the rim with that.
Yeah, that's a Blake Griffin dunk, except he dunked it.
He dunked it. He actually put it
hilarious.
through the basket.
Robin Lopez. Is it? Okay, it's were we what? 20-something games in, 25?
Yeah.
Dunk of the year?
Yeah, of course. Name another dunk this year. That's the best one.
Does Blake Griffin still play basketball?
That's the best one.
Does Zach LaVine still play basketball? Do you watch every single game?
And to make a real sports point, by the way, to make a real sports point, I'm not sure if that's good or bad for Larry Nance if he's just becomes known as a dunker because he's one of the most important pieces on that young Lakers team. He does all the dirty work.
Yeah, that's true. But you both are wrong. It's not the dunk of the year. It's number 2. But the dunk of the year still belongs to one Russell Westbrook against the Houston Rockets, and this is why. This is why. There are 3 criteria to be the dunk of the year. Number 1, excitement level. Number 2, impact on the game. And number 3, who you dunk on and where.
About the impact on the game.
Yes, impact on the game. That was a game-sealing dunk. That's the reason why that is dunk of the year.
That's such a nerd point, though. That is such a nerd point.
Nerd me nerd.
Larry Nance was in the 3rd quarter of a game they lost by 10. That dunk sealed a win. That's why.
Did your eyeballs see that Larry Nance dunk? You're supposed to look forward. Let's see, LZ. There you go.
Max,
did you see the dunk?
It wasn't nice. I didn't
no, we
say
have to
it wasn't
pretend
nice.
we're not looking at each other.
Okay, now you said dunk of the year.
Yes.
You said dunk of the year. I said it was really, really nice. It was really nice.
It was a better dunk, LZ.
But no.
It was a better dunk. The context wasn't greater, but it was a better dunk.
Russell Westbrook is 6'3".
Let's look at it. Just take it all in.
What are you, scientifically breaking this down?
He dunked on Brook Lopez. Yes, Brook Lopez.
A 7-footer.
No, it's Brook Lopez.
It's Brook Lopez.
It's still a
He's a 5'10" 7-footer. That dude ain't got
What are you in
no
a chat room somewhere?
I'm
Stop
just
breaking
telling
this
you.
down scientifically. Did you see that dunk?
Which team gives it the most points in the NBA? Those Brooklyn Nets. Everybody's dunking on them like that. You know why? Because no one's afraid of Brook Lopez in the middle.
LZ.
That's the reason
LZ,
why
what
it's
dunk
number
looked better?
2.
What dunk looked better?
Russell Westbrook. Left hand.
Now you just arguing.
You just forgot. You just had forgotten. You weren't even thinking he was
Did
going to
Russell
dunk it.
Westbrook apologize? Because Nance apologized.
Drop the mic!
At least it seemed like he did. And I don't
drop
know
the
when
mic.
I saw this last.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I'm so sorry.
That makes it worse.
Your life is ruined. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that to you forever.
This is exactly why Coach Walton called his team soft at the end of the game. Because of stuff like that. You don't apologize if you kill somebody. You just say, and you rest in peace. That's what happened.
No. You actually do apologize. No. We do it all the time. Look, it's not usually after such a big highlight, but when you get the result you want, but it's at the expense of him, you do come back to him and say, my bad, big dog. I had to do it to you. That's what this is. He's like, I had to do it to you. I'm sorry for you.
LZ, we're sorry. We are sorry on this one.
As the only person who can still touch the rim, I would take the...
Still?
Yes,
Hold
I
on.
said it.
Still
touch the rim.
What? 39.5-inch vert. Combines, baby. You roast.
Combines? What are you, Al Bunker?
Okay, like 40 years ago.
Before you break an ankle, let's do some football.
Got it, dog.
Nothing.
You must have left it.
Steelers face the Bengals. Now remember,
I'd like to touch the rim one time in my life.
Le'Veon Bell's faced Cincinnati. He did suffer season-ending knee injuries. Last year's injury came courtesy of one Vontaze Burfict and as viewed by many Steelers as a very dirty play. But Bell has said the following: I'm pretty sure they're going to do whatever they got to try to get me off the field. I'm obviously not going to let it happen a third time. I'm going to be prepared for everything. Why even put this juju in the universe, Marcellus?
Juju on the beat.
Like, why are you doing that?
Why are you doing this? Because, one, you're trying to use the reverse psychology of saying, okay, you're in my head, but now I'm going to use you in my head as inspiration to bring it back to you. What he's talking about is being alert versus full alertness. And there's a difference. I think most people out there, know when you're reversing a car. There's one thing to go in reverse, and there's another thing to turn the radio off and then go in reverse because you got to focus on it. That's the moment right now.
Are you distracted by the radio?
Radio's what's doing
Y'all
it?
don't watch Kings of Comedy? All right,
No, it is a thing we do.
Yeah, you got to turn the music down when you start to go back. This is what he's saying. All of that stuff, when I run out of bounds, when I get back up, when I stiff arm you, I am paying attention to every moment because I don't want that same result.
Looks like he's just saying that dirty.
No.
Well, but that's
what it feels
big
like.
saying that.
No.
Yeah.
No, he's not saying it dirty. He's saying, I got to protect myself.
No, you know what he's saying?
Times.
He's saying like what Tom Coughlin said, like injury is a state of mind, right? Like staying healthy is a state, but it's not. It's a state of your body, actually. And I don't know how I don't care how determined you are to not get hurt. You know, if the impact is such that you are hurt, there's nothing your mind can do about it. Something's going to break.
I just wouldn't
I was going to get hurt against the Lions, but nah, I'm not going to get hurt against that team.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't have put it out there.
You wouldn't put it out there?
I wouldn't have made the words happen.
Why?
Just putting the energy
out there. What are you believing in, like voodoo or jinx? Like if I say it, it's going to come to fruition? That's not how it works in the NFL.
That's exactly how it works.
No, it's not.
Who amongst the both of us knows? I think I know how the NFL works.
From the couch, it certainly seems that it works that way.
Yes.
Oh, don't say it.
Straight Whoopi Goldberg. Until you do right by me.
Don't say it out loud.
You know my Kings of Comedy reference.
We will be right back after the break. Also, when you're looking at an address, you turn the volume down. Welcome to Sports Nation. Today we were expecting to do a fun show for you, but that's not possible because as we were getting ready to come out here, we learned the news that Craig Sager has died at the age of 65. We all knew it was coming, but that doesn't make today any easier to deal with. Y'all go. Sorry.
Much respect to Craig Sager. I think everyone here obviously has had some encounter with him, some more intimate than others, but the celebration of life is a moment that is hard to come to terms with when you're going through a loss like this. I had to go through this 2005 when I lost my mother to cancer. It wasn't a long battle, and it makes it no easier whether it's long or short. That loss, that moment when you realize that life will go forward without someone you love so dearly. And his impact is global in terms of his heart, his energy, his dedication to his craft, to his job, to his family. He was able to do all those things despite going through, obviously, dire times. Just respect to him and his family, and everyone's affected by this.
I noticed that when we got the news, I thought I was coming on today. We're going to have a good time and like old times. Yeah.
That's a thing.
When the news broke, I think that a testament, a tribute to Craig Sager is that everyone was like, "Wow, that really sucks." I mean, everyone was universally. You never heard a bad word said about him in the industry. But if you wanted to know, and if you want to know who knew him personally, and I did not. Just look at who's weeping today, because everyone in this building who knew him personally is weeping right now.
Yeah. I think what was amazing about Craig was he was dealing with what is the absolute worst thing that a human has to deal with in cancer. And through all of it, he worked, he loved his work. You couldn't wipe that smile off of his face. His family is amazing. They've been through so much. I hope today they can at least find peace and that he is out of pain. I'm not a person who finds inspiration in a lot. I'm not a religious person. I don't do all that. But for me, Craig was that.
Well, absolutely. I mean, regardless of the profession that you're in, how could you not love the joy he had for his job?
Right.
He's the reason why I really fell in love with ball, because he loved ball so much. And when I lived in Atlanta and I worked for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, I would run into him all over Atlanta and just pick his brain. Like, what are you doing? What are you wearing? Where are you getting these clothes from? And he was always with such joy and such a wonderful smile on his face. And you talked about losing your mother to cancer in 2005. I lost one of my mentors in Gwen Eiffel, also of cancer, not too long ago. I was attending her funeral. And much like Craig Sager, she worked until the end, covered the campaign, covered the elections, all the way to the end because she loved her job so much. So when I think about Craig, when I think about Gwen, when I think about all the average Americans that we don't know the names of who continue on and face this awful disease and overcome through the human spirit, I, like you, draw such inspiration.
You know, the thing about Craig that always struck me, watching him from afar, watching him on TV like everyone else, is not only that he loved his job, but I got the feeling that no matter what kind of job he had, and no matter how sick he was, that guy was coming to work and punching that clock every day because he had that level of professionalism and felt that level of responsibility to his job and to his craft. And he's absolutely an inspiration today.
I love people who you just look at them and they're happy, and that makes you happy. And not everybody that does this for a living has that, but he had it in spades, and so you couldn't help. I mean, I don't even care if you didn't like basketball or you didn't know what was going on or who the people were, but if you flip on the TV and he's there, you just were happier as a result.
His most unique quality, I think what really crossed over, let's talk about the athlete experience, why so many athletes loved him, was one, you could see the sense of ownership of his own personality, staying within his own skin and saying, I will be daring enough to wear this and be professional in doing so. And guys used to sit there and marvel at, yeah, you can look any way you want to as long as you get the job done. And think about it. It really embodies my favorite quote, life is a competition between you and yourself. He won. Like, he won that battle that we all face. I'm too self-conscious to do this. I'm too self-conscious to say that. He was able to be daring enough to own every single thing he did. And that's why I think he transcended everyone.
I'm glad we got to see him at the ESPYs. I feel fortunate that I got to interview him and his family at the ESPYs. It was great to see them all together and happy on a day that we were all joining together to celebrate him. And you're right. I mean, I don't know a single person who's ever had a negative thing to say about him. And we are talking nice people, jerks, everybody. Nobody has a negative thing to say.
Which would be strange, except the closer people got to him, the stronger that good feeling was.
Yeah, it was so absolutely genuine. And I was so glad that he had an opportunity to cover an NBA Finals game, because he had been covering the league for so long. And I didn't know he had never covered a finals. I just assumed he had. So I'm glad he got that opportunity.
Well, I will say this. First, we didn't want to do the show because everyone's just extremely sad today. But then we realized that would be the ultimate disservice because he did the job up until the very last minute. So Craig Sager approached every single day with all the passion. He loved life. On this day, we want to celebrate his life. Here's a look at the incredible life of Craig Sager.
Jason Powell from the Clippers meeting with the coaching staff to discuss Chris Paul, but still no Derrick Rose, at least for tonight. The Indianapolis 500 and the Eastern Conference Finals in the same city on the same day.
He became famous for a career standing on the sidelines. Yet Craig Sager was always very much in the middle of things.
It's 7:15. There's a new home run champion of all time, and it's Henry Aaron.
That's 22-year-old Sager, getting the first interview with new home run king Hank Aaron at home plate seconds after number 715. He's the one in plain white. The Technicolor clothes didn't catch anybody's eye until later, until after he wore the Willie Wildcat costume at his alma mater Northwestern. After he slept in a stall with Triple Crown winner Seattle Slew at the Belmont. After he joined a fledgling cable news network in its first year. Between CNN, then TBS, TNT, and others, Sager covered college football, the World Series, World Cup soccer, even Olympic curling. But it's the NBA that always seemed to suit the man best.
It's a nice suit you got on there. Easter passed, though. Easter already went by.
All right, thanks a lot.
His sartorial splendor matched perfectly with the league.
You know, I didn't recognize you right away. I thought you were the good humor ice cream man at first, standing over here on the sideline.
Recognizability mixed with constant good-natured ribbing.
You take this and you burn it.
There's not any part I can keep?
No, nothing. So when you get done with this, you should be butt naked.
Ironically, Sager's suits only clashed with his straightforward interview style. And with Spurs coach Greg Popovich as his foil, the between quarters Q&A became first-rate TV.
How can you be that professional in a suit that looks like that?
What was the key?
I think they were looking at your suit.
We got to do this in the preseason? Are you kidding me?
Part of the
In
contract.
the preseason, we got to do this?
Short answers,
No.
long on respect. As Sager battled leukemia, Pop was among the most poignant voices.
You did a great job, but I'd rather have your dad standing here. That's Craig, we miss you. You've been an important part of all this for a long time, doing a great job. We want your Fanny back on the court, and I promise I'll be nice. Get back here.
Well, yes and no.
I got to honestly tell you, this is the first time I've enjoyed doing this ridiculous interview we're required to do, and it's because you're here and you're back with us. Welcome back, baby.
Well, thank you very much. I lay in the hospital for months hoping to do this again.
Now ask me a couple of inane questions.
The question Sager never asked, why me? He fought his disease with an attitude positively plaid and paisley, pastel and polka dot.
The recipient of the Jimmy V Award for Perseverance, Craig Sager.
Whatever I might have imagined a terminal diagnosis would do to my spirit, it summoned quite the opposite. The greatest appreciation for life itself.
Sager's impassioned ESPY speech came shortly after he worked, remarkably, his first ever NBA Finals game.
How in the hell you go 30-plus years without getting a Finals game? That don't make no sense. But I'm happy to see you, man. Much love and respect.
The Finals both new and familiar. Sager with his guys, who were always there for him.
So you're an inspiration for us to, just keep doing what we're doing, keep fighting, and that's the mentality we have, and it's kind of contagious, so thank you.
Craig Sager, the low-volume pro in the loud clothes, part of the fabric of the NBA, dead at the age of 65. A day for silent sidelines.